I'm Ross Baxter. I'm with Jack White Real Estate on the Kenai Peninsula. I have what's called the Baxter Group, my own team. I'm also a board of director for the Kenai River Sportfishing Association. You know, I've been involved with real estate for almost 20 years now, and sport fishing has been, something that's called my name ever since moving here. Not so much as an angler, but more as a conservationist. And when people are asking about riverfront properties and sport fishing specifically, well beyond the house and does it meet the number of bedrooms and bathrooms and fit my RV or truck and all my friends or not. The big question is how's the fishing? And it's kind of funny because most sellers will tell me, Ross, this is the best spot on the entire Kenai River to catch fish. We have more fish here than anywhere else on the whole entire river. And I hear that from every seller and from every buyer. It's like, can I catch fish here? And the answer to that, of course, is location specific. And there are places where literally on the other side of the river, that's where the fish typically run for the sockeye or red run. And yet on the side that they're on, it might be silver. So it's really not one and the same, and one size doesn't fit all. It's very unique that way. Any challenges in regards to owning riverfront property usually have to do with Mother Nature. We had a ski lac ice dam break many years ago, and so many homeowners weren't prepared. Riverfront properties that left docks in the water, platforms, the ice flow was significant. It was an anomaly, and it cost millions of dollars of damage. So challenges are being aware of how to live on the river, take your fishing platforms off in the fall, and then put them up out of the way of any potential hazards. Beyond that, the Kenai River Center is a great place for people to get information regarding how to cohabitate with the river, and you would think, gosh, what do you mean cohabitate? Well, there's a harmony of not cutting down trees so that we have vegetation. There's a harmony of having the Engrained Stream Ordinance rules in effect, where somebody may want to build a gazebo that sits right on the water, but it may affect negatively the salmon population. And so you have to be permitted to do these things. And so I think an educated public going to resources like the Kenai River Center is super important. Some of the challenges as it relates to sport fishing really have to do with management of the resources. When they're well managed, people come and they spend a fair amount of money to have this experience. And if they get here and there's no fish in the river, then they're unlikely to come back, or they're unlikely to tell a friend. So the management of the resource is critical to the survival of not only the community, but the growth of the fishery. Sport fishing impacts the world of real estate in so many ways here on the Kenai Peninsula. We're a hospitality and a destination community, so during winter we have very few people on the peninsula. 65,000 I think is our population within 150 miles. And then in summer it blossoms and grows to several 100,000 people are here, many of which have second homes. And the impact to real estate is significant. All of the properties along the Kenai River, the Kasilof River, and all the waterways up and down the peninsula that are fish-bearing streams, they have high value, and people come from all over the world, and certainly many from the lower 48, to relocate here to recreate and to have the opportunity to catch a world-class salmon or other fish species. And so those property values have increased, maintained their valuation. And the other thing is land. It used to be back when I first started, there was so many lots available along the Kenai River, the Kasilof and other waterways. And today, they're basically all purchased. There's a few buffer lots, and of course, all of our businesses that are related, support services, everything from the grocery stores to the restaurants, etc., are all benefiting because people want to be here to have that experience to catch a fish and take some home with them. The question of the difference between impacts of commercial and residential real estate is one of economics for our community. The constant with good fish management is that as long as we have fish in our river, we know that people will come. And knowing that people will come, it's just a matter of how many. And so commercial activity is usually subject to what their idea is, where it's located, and how it relates. The further you get away from a river, or the further you get away from the city or town center, the less valuable, unless it's marketed as a remote property. But the residential impact is significant because it's a quality of life issue if you're living here year-round. So both have their ebb and flow. So what would the real estate world look like if there were no fish in the Kenai River? Well, this destination town would just be all about quality of life issues in Alaska, perhaps more than anything else. The focus might be on hunting instead of fishing. We would have less tourism, we'd have less residents, and we'd have less money for city services and continual growth, our schools, our hospitals. Oh, and the town would dry up and die. Yeah, that when the balance is equitable between user groups, we have harmony, everybody gets what they need, and we have sustainability. And I think it's super important that people not just focus on filling their coolers, but getting involved and either volunteering, donating money, or writing a letter to a political leader voicing their concern or support of what's going on. And frankly, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what side you're on. What matters is that you're getting involved, and hopefully and ideally it's on the side of conservation and keeping fish in our rivers.